empowering our communities by providing progressive talk radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a Black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding, while boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners, so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
Somebody say that your boyfriend's looking for me. Ooh, that's cool, that's cool. Well, you should know I'm pretty easy to find. Just look for me wherever he sees you. I go wherever you go.
2023 Usher in the building. You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. I am so excited to talk to you guys. Happy Hump Day. Are you locked in? Are you seated? This is the show where we get into all the trending topics and headlines across entertainment, sports, lifestyle, and culture. I, of course, am your host, Jill Munroe. And before we get started, of course, I have to make sure that you are tapped in with KBLA Talk 1580. So that means, are you following our socials? KBLA 1580. Go ahead and do that. We'll wait. Okay. Follow me at Stiletto Jill. If you want to call in and have a comment or just say hi tonight or any night, the number to reach us is 800-920-1580. And of course, download the app. If you're going to be on the go, you don't know where the night might take you, download the app so you can lock in and listen to not just this show, but all of the shows. And, even leave a secret message if you feel like it. So it is Wednesday. And as always, we have a lot to get into. Let me give you a little rundown of the night show. Andy brought us in with Usher. Obviously, Andy taps into the themes. We're going to talk about Usher's newest single. He's moving these singles out, right? I'm not mad at a man that takes advantage of his moment in the spotlight again. Usher, I think we're almost at 30 years for his career, right? So, it's big that he is still around, still this relevant and putting out things, performances, content that people are tapped into. So we're going to get into his new single, talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about Lauryn Hill. She is about to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. We know that album is a classic. She's going to go on tour with that, also feature a couple of Fugees performances. I want to know, are you here for it? Are you going to put your money down and support Lauryn? We're going to talk about it. Plus, talk a little bit about that iconic album because it was special. We're also going to get into Lizzo's plan to strike back. She's planning to sue the dancers that are already taking her to court. We're going to talk about that. Michael Jordan weighed in on the best point guard ever debate via text message. We'll tell you who he sent that text message to and let you hear what he had to say. We're also going to discuss April Jones. April Jones is an actress. She was on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. She has 2 children with Omarion, former B2K member. And they had some drama, public drama, a while back. But April has been dating actor Taye Diggs for quite some time now. They're engaged, as far as we know. But a couple of days ago, she was on live with her son, Mega, who's 9 years old, who she shares with Omarion. And they had a rather interesting conversation. So we're going to kind of talk about boundaries and what we think is appropriate for social media. I mean, it's appropriate as long as you think it's appropriate, but just kind of talk about what it means for the kids, so forth. So we'll get into that. We're also going to talk about Zendaya. You know, she's been notoriously private with her relationships on the other end of the spectrum. And in a recent Elle magazine interview, she discussed why. And she also discusses that infamous moment with her stylist that went viral, that had heads turning, and he retired soon after that. So we're going to talk about that. Of course, it's Wednesday. So, you know, we have our weekly contributor in the building, Trent Jackson, Trent the artist, our Keep It Real friend. We're going to talk a bunch of things with Trent. Of course, we're going to get into our Tubi movie review in the after hours, the third hour tonight. What movie was it? All I Want Is You. Yeah, it stars Claudia Jordan. Let me slow down. Yeah. I have some things to say about that. We're going to get into that. We're also going to talk a little astrology and retrograde. So we're in retrograde season, people. We're going to talk about what that means and, you know, a little conversation to see how that impacts you. But before we get into all of that, you know what today is, right? It's August 23rd. And you know what that means, right? Thank you, Andy. Give up the applause. Today would have been Kobe Bryant's 45th birthday. We are still mourning his loss. It's still hard to believe that he is not here with us. His daughter Gigi would be entering her senior year of high school. She and I share the same birthday, along with Shaq's youngest daughter as well. So we all share that date, Taurus strong in there. So, you know, we know what Kobe means to the city of Los Angeles, to Lakers fans, to me personally. And of course, social media has been flooded with photographs and memories of him. He's the first professional athlete to win an Academy Award for a short film. You know, I mean, Kobe probably would have ended up being an EGOT. Let's keep it 100. That was going to happen. It probably was in his goals. And we know whatever Kobe puts his mind to, he succeeds. I'm trying to think because I have a Kobe story that many probably maybe you'd be interested in it. I got to work on a project with Kobe during his Columbia days when he was doing the rap thing. He signed one of my friends. So, you know, I am someone that there are a couple of Kobe songs will really just hold me. His rap with Brian McKnight on that single. I like that. Your love's a sword, dicing gently through my body. Anyway, so that one I rocked with. I rocked with that little verse right there. I can't say I rocked with a Kobe song, but that little verse, I rocked with, you know. But I saw Kobe perform live at the House of Blues. How many people can say that? We know he had that interesting performance at All-Star where he performed with Tyra Banks, the KOBEILOVEU. You know, that was funny. But I saw Kobe.
Italian.
Huh?
And he rapped in Italian.
He did rap in Italian, which was fly, you know, because we didn't have anybody doing that back then. So he and Tariq from Power share that in common, that they both grew up speaking the language. So I think that's kind of hot. Anyway, I saw Kobe rap at the House of Blues. That's basically the story that I wanted to share with you guys. Happy birthday to the Mamba. You know, tomorrow is 8/24 Mamba Day. There's lots of celebrations happening around the city of Los Angeles. We'll get into that later. But when we come forward, we're going to get into it with our Keep It Real friend, Trent Jackson, Trent the artist. We're going to get into these trending topics and headlines. And of course, VIPs, we're going to see how you're feeling. What's going on with you for this Wednesday? When you call in, 800-920-1580. When we come forward, all that and more, you're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
More when we come forward.
Besides Tavis Smiley, KBLA Talk 1580 is inviting you to join us on Saturday, September 16th, 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for our very first economic empowerment event for the community. This event is free and is powered by Caltrans. We're doing this in association with Rambo House, and here's Rambo to tell you more.
Contracts. I'm going to say it again for all of us small business owners out there. Contracts. Rambo House, KBLA, Tavis, me. Oh my God, this is going to be massive. I truly thank Caltrans for giving us the opportunity to focus on contracts. Listen, that's what it's all about to be a small business in LA. That's how we hire our own. That's how we expand our community is contracts. KBLA1580.com is for you to have a seat at our contracts-focused event. Contract Ready does it again. We had over 900 last time. So you guys know how exciting this is. And if you just think that you want to get into contracts and you're close to it, bring your friends out for September 16th at the Marriott Hotel. Listen, you know where to register. KBLA1580.com. Come see me. I can't wait to see you. Let's do it, Tavis.
So be sure to go to KBLA1580.com for all the details. We'll see you Saturday, September 16th.
Attention taxpayers, ready for some bad news? With $80 billion in new funding from Congress, the IRS has launched their most aggressive hiring campaign ever to ramp up enforcement. If you're ignoring your taxes, don't delay another minute because your paycheck, your bank account, even your home or business could already be at risk. Now, here's the good news. Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm, can get to work immediately helping to protect you from the IRS. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their tax attorneys and licensed professionals are experts at resolving tax problems. Let them help determine if you qualify for the Fresh Start Initiative or other powerful IRS tax assistance programs. Take control. Call Optima Tax Relief now for a free consultation.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580, like the man said. Thank you for rocking with us on this good Wednesday night. Good, like Usher said. We're going to talk about Usher in a minute. But before we get into all of that, I have to welcome in our weekly contributor, our fave, Trent the artist, Trent Jackson, the Keep It Real friend. He's keeping it all the way real right now. You know why he's doing that pause?
Why?
Because that peppermint is banging.
No.
Jokes, though.
No, it's
gone.
Yeah, it was gone. I was just waiting on you to finish. I didn't, get your time.
Finish giving you your accolades,
yes,
your props, welcome you in there. Yes, okay, so let me run that back. Trent the artist, Trent Jackson.
Yes.
Our Keep It Real friend.
Thank you for having me.
Who comes through with the answers that you don't necessarily want to hear. I saw on your Instagram story you were with a friend the other day, and she said she wants to punch you in the face sometimes.
No, she told me F me after she spent my money at her birthday lunch. And you know what? I love when my friends turn up and say F me because I deserve it sometimes. I'm direct. I say things that upset people. I shake the table on purpose. I say things on purpose to push your buttons. And I know how far I can go. And I just reached that point where I'm just about to exceed the limit, but I don't.
So you're a professional agitator.
Yes, I am. I interrupt the pattern on purpose.
But why? What's the goal?
Because people are complacent and they need to wake up. They want change. They want something better. They want to do something different. They complain about it. Oh, I don't have. Well, do something different. You can't keep doing the same stuff and expect a different result.
Facts, but you said you poked the bear, you pushed the button, you're an agitator.
Yes,
so
because people be sleeping and be complaining, and it's like, stop complaining and do
Ooh.
something different.
Why are we clapping?
Because you got to wake up because you sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. And he told me to wake up. I mean, it's to stay awake last time, so I'm gonna stay woke.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Keep it out there.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, we mentioned Usher. He, is taking advantage of his name buzzing again. Although, since he's opened this residency, there has been, I feel like Usher's someone that has never really had too bad of a low period. The Here I Stand, we know that album didn't do well and the fans weren't exactly for him because of his marriage at the time. But even that was a successful album if you think about it in theory, right? He's managed to, stay relevant. He had songs, what was that, about 10 years ago with Nicki Minaj, early Nicki. So, he stayed tapped in. We know he did the song with the City Girls and so have you. So he's relevant. So his latest single, Good Good, which I mentioned, is on the end of the Boyfriend video with Kiki. It's playing in the background. It's a single. It features Summer Walker and 21 Savage. He and Summer Walker had that pairing before on her first album, Come Through. I think that was it. Yeah.
I like the fact that he supports her. Because people give her a bad rap sometimes, and he writes for her.
And
I like that.
And you know what is nice about it too? Because I saw early performances of them performing that first single, like right after it came out, and she gave him nothing. And we know Usher is a performer, and he still.
But that's her though. She always gives.
But this is when she was just starting. I don't think he was prepared for her to give him nothing.
She still gets nothing.
I mean, yeah, but saying
you're not getting anything.
I mean, she's working with Tiana Taylor, so maybe you'll get something.
Maybe. That's going to take a lot of hard work because it's almost like you have to choose to be that lackluster on stage.
I feel like it's a choice. I mean, I know she says she has anxiety. Don't ever want to question someone who says how they feel. That is how they feel. Obviously, she got over it when she was doing,
But a lot of
days.
entertainers have stated that they have, anxiety. Brandy, Bette Midler, they've all said the same thing.
But they still perform. So. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. So.
Summer Walker. Maybe if there's support from Usher will liven her up a bit.
At any rate, the single's called Good Good. It also features 21 Savage, and it's about a breakup. And it was significant at the end of the video with Kiki, I thought, because, she was shouting out like, yeah, me and dude aren't together, but we good, which is the theme of the song. So we've talked about it before, but how impressed are you at Usher's, still relevance and dominance, especially in a period where male R&B singers aren't really the choice?
Yeah, I think I like Usher, and I'm happy at the longevity of his career. 30 years and to be consistent. But there have been others, but we're talking about Usher tonight. I like it. I enjoy it. And I think that he studied appropriately and he followed the greats because there's a certain formula to longevity, and it's always involving younger artists and kind of reaching back and knowing when to make that play.
So you said studied, but is it also, too, that he was surrounded by a different music industry? Although, there's a lot of critiques about what Usher saw early in his career with Diddy, maybe with JD, but, for sure with Diddy and so forth. But Usher's still here. And for the most part, relatively scandal-free. Relatively.
Yes.
I did not say completely.
Yes.
I said relatively.
Yes. Yeah.
With a 30-year career, and to only have, he may not have cheated on Chili. We know that Confessions was made to look like it was about him, but it was
Yeah.
really Jermaine's
Yeah.
story. Blah, blah, blah. We know about the drama with he and Tamika, and maybe that he was cheating on Chili with Tamika.
Yeah, he had normal drama,
Right, but nothing
Yeah,
like...
nothing scandalous, right? I think also too that's a choice. And then I think when you are surrounded by certain people, but we also know that he had a mother in the picture who had a very firm and strong hand, and she wasn't.
I mean, she did, but she did send him up to New York with Diddy.
Yeah. So, but she still she was still there, and that she kind of helped steer some of the choices and kind of shield him from the scandalous, part of it. So
absolutely,
I think that played a part in it as well.
So continuing on our music tip, and shout out to Usher. I want to go and see the final go round of his Las Vegas residency.
I think that I think in my mind he's going to go on tour after this and just take the show on the road.
He might, probably internationally. He knows he could. And then, swing back to... Well, I know he's doing a show, the residency. He's doing 2 shows in Vegas. I mean, not Vegas, excuse me, Paris of it. Which I would love to go to.
I think that he'll take it on the road. I think people should just wait because people are complaining and mad that the show is sold out.
But here's the thing: even if he takes it on the road, it's still different from going to see it in Vegas. Part of the thing with Vegas, and you went and saw Janet in Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the intimate setting. It's different from going to a 20,000 seat arena.
Yeah, but you can catch him in a different city at a smaller venue. I'm pretty sure he'll have a handful of those.
We'll see. So Lauryn Hill's headed out on tour for the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
I saw that. I'm excited.
You are?
I am.
You're gonna pay for that?
I am. And the only reason why is because I was there for the first tour for the Miseducation tour '98. That was like I remember going to that concert at the Universal Amphitheater, and Destiny's Child opened for her.
All right, nice. Yeah. I will not.
Yeah, because she's going to be 3 hours late.
Right, and I don't have the patience. I don't have the time frame. But what are your 3 favorites from that album?
Wow. That's a hard. Let me circle back. Yeah.
So I can tell you what 2 of my 3 are. Of course, they're slow songs. X Factor.
Yes.
X Factor.
Yes.
X Factor. X Factor. We love that. That was such a poignant breakup song. And I felt every lyric, every tone that she was singing through it with that. So that one. And the duet with D'Angelo, Nothing Even Matters.
Yeah, I was gonna go there. That was because I had to pull up the track listing.
Okay.
So yeah, that was
those are
X Factor. Nothing Even Matters, and yeah, I can go with those 2. But this is like one of those things that you play through, and you start it to finish, the whole thing. But those are my 2 favorites. And then we could add in Lost Ones in there too.
Okay. Lost Ones, yep. It's funny how money changes us. Okay.
Yep.
Situation. Okay, yeah. Probably need the beat with it. All right, so you are for paying for Lauryn Hill tickets.
I'm with that because in my mind she's gonna actually, because you know what you're gonna get. So my thing is, since I was there for the first show and the original one in '98, I want to see what it's like 25 years later.
Revisiting it and where you are in your life.
And compare it, yeah.
Well, it's a 17-date tour. It's going to hit arenas worldwide, including Barclays Center, the United Center in Chicago, the Forum here in LA. It's also going to Australia, New Zealand, some other places. The Fugees are also going to reunite on the tour. They are going to co-headline the tour. Initially, they were supposed to do a tour, I think, in 2021. For their 25th anniversary of Fujila? What was the album? The Score.
The Score.
Okay. Fujila was a single. Got it. All right. Listen, I'm not wrong. Just misdirected.
It's all good.
That's all.
Yeah, we know it was.
So it was supposed to take place in 2021, but Praz's legal troubles kind of kibosh that. So here we are, and they will take off. We know that The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was one of the most influential albums I guess ever, but especially of the 90s. It was officially entered into the Library of Congress in 2015, and it was the first hip hop album to receive an Album of the Year Grammy Award. So, and Hill was the first woman to be nominated for 10 Grammy Awards in 1 year, and the first woman to win 5 in one night. Do you know when the last album she released was?
Was it that Unplugged CD?
It was.
Was that 1999?
2001.
Okay.
It's crazy to me that she has had no new music, and she's been touring like crazy these past few years, right? Late and all, and people are still like, here, Lauryn, take my money. But what I will say, though, is that when you catch her on a good night and she's on time and she's in the pocket, like nothing you've ever seen. Blows so many female performers away. The clarity, the diction, the breath control, the energy, it's all still there.
And that's what I'm very interested in seeing, because in 98, as a 17-year-old, right, at that concert, it was everything. So I want to relive that.
You want to see that in person and feel that feeling again. I know that's right. I think that she will deliver on that. So, in keeping with music news, because that's where we're starting tonight, Big Sean and Jhené Aiko, they have a stalker, you know? These super fans, we talked a bit about entitled fans.
You would bring this up with this. You would.
They do. So, but here's the thing. God. They were seeking court-ordered protection. They went to go get a temporary restraining order from a creepy fan that's been showing up at the shows, different events, and their home in Pacific Palisades. They filed a TRO. It's a 29-year-old man named Ian Craig Lees, and they say that he recently snuck onto their Palisades property. Well, the judge denied the temporary restraining order. He is going to, he set a court hearing September 14th for the matter, but do you think that, obviously we don't know the details, they say that this person is a stranger, but do you think that celebrities should automatically be issued those type of protections just because they're public figures? And, you know, if someone is showing up on their home, like what reason would you have to deny that, even if you're holding it over for a hearing?
That is my question, because no sound judge in their right mind, who there's a documented case of this person who's just random showing up to these places, making threats or whatever, or otherwise, you know, why does this, you know, what if this escalates? Exactly.
They have children,
you know, and not even escalates from, you know, the stalker standpoint. Like, what if, you know, what if Janine decides she want to come on and start busting caps one day, you know, because you know what I'm saying? Or the Detroit comes out of Sean and he wants to start, you know, busting up. So, and then that's a whole nother thing. So it's like, why shouldn't they? But then again, what are the details of the case? Because is this a situation where the person, they know this person?
They said that they do not know the person.
The only logical explanation from a legal standpoint for a judge would not issue the order is if they know this person and it's some other type of tricky business dispute.
I agree. When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. Of course, we will talk about who Michael Jordan says is the best point guard and why. We'll get into more stories, more news, more headlines. News and sports is up next. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Somebody say that your boyfriend's looking for me. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, you should know I'm pretty easy to find. Just look for me wherever he sees you. Somebody say that your boyfriend's looking for me. That's cool, yeah. If he could find a way to get in.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
A I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Rudy Giuliani says he's honored to be tied to the case in Georgia regarding the 2020 election. The former New York City mayor and Trump lawyer called the racketeering charges an attack on not only him and the former president.
This is an attack on the American people. If this could happen to me, who is probably the most prolific prosecutor, maybe in American history, it can happen to you.
Giuliani says he's being charged for doing his job as a lawyer. He made his statement after being booked at Fulton County Jail in Atlanta, Georgia, and released on $150,000 bond. Sales of pre-owned homes fell to their lowest level in 6 months in July. The National Association of Realtors says existing home sales slowed 2.2% to an annual rate of about 4 million units. The group's chief economist cites the lack of available housing and higher mortgage rates for keeping buyers on the sidelines. And that's the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? The Accident Guys can come to you almost anywhere, so you don't have to come to us. Se habla español.
KBLA Talk 1580 is dedicated to empowering our communities by providing progressive talk radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a Black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding, while boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners, so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look, and unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at the gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'll get out of all your boxes. I'll get out. You can't hold me in these chains. I'll get out. Father, free me from this bondage. Knowing my condition is the reason I must change. Your stinking resolution is no type of solution. Preventing me from freedom, maintaining your pollution. I won't support your lie no more. I won't even try no more. If I have to die, oh Lord, that's how I choose to live. I won't be compromised no more.
Shout out to Miss Hill.
I can't be victimized no
bringing
more.
us back in.
I just don't sympathize no more.
Lauryn Hill.
Now I understand.
Giving it to us raw with that voice, that tone. Lauryn Hill's tone is simply amazing. I'm going to tell you that I've heard that song before, but I don't know what it is. I'm also going to be honest and share with you that I would never play that song on my own. Like, that's a song that I would want to hear in performance only, but I'm never just going to be at the house and be like, yo, throw that on.
I want to say I know the name of that song, but I don't, because there's only a handful of songs, and I'm looking how many songs I have from that CD. I didn't really listen to it.
You want a hint?
Yes.
You want a hint?
Yeah.
Sunken Place.
See, never would have guessed it.
But that's not the title of the song, I think.
It's not, but that's the hint.
Yeah, I know.
For the name of the song.
And my point is, it's not collecting me to anything, so I'm never going to guess it.
Is that the mystery song?
No. The name of the song is I Get Out.
Okay.
And that's off the Unplugged.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. And that's my point. I appreciate it from a live performance perspective. Like, obviously, the tone, the musicality in it, the acoustic guitar, all fire, right? But again, am I just going to drive in my car and say, turn that on?
I don't.
No,
you have to
I'm
be in
not.
a different space to play that.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Jill.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this show for a couple months now.
We have been 2 months strong.
Congratulations.
2 months to 3 days.
I think I'm learning you a little bit.
Are you?
Especially when it comes to the music.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong.
Let's hear it.
Not that you don't like conscious music, but that's not your forte.
It is not.
Okay.
We talked about that because I said I read books, so I don't always. I appreciate it in music. I appreciate music with a message. I appreciate that artists dig deep into themselves and can pull that out. But if I'm chilling, I don't listen to music for that. I guess that's kind of the thing. I think it has its place. I think that there is space for it, but that is not why I listen to music.
How did you feel when Kendrick dropped To Pimp a Butterfly?
So
You heard the album, right?
No.
Okay.
I know. I'm trying to think. That was second. I mean, that was Mr. Morales and the Big Steppers. First one was Section 90. Three. I'm going backwards, right?
Oh, you going back? Got you.
Yeah. So no. So 3, 2, 1. So that was the one in the middle, right? Second.
We had Section 80, we had Good Kid, then
Good
we had
Kids,
To
and
Pimp a
then so
Butterfly.
third, yeah. But
Before
Section
Damn.
80 is the mixtape, technically, right?
Kind of, sort of,
Kind of,
yes.
sort of, right. Okay, so yeah. So To Pimp a Butterfly was not my favorite. There are songs on there. And again, I did not dispute you. It was not my favorite. I definitely liked Good Kid, Mad City more. And I feel like there's conscious songs on there or songs that are storytelling in a different aspect that are still, I feel like, not just hood tale, for lack of a better word, but where he's speaking some real stuff, and I don't mind it. But for some reason, there's just certain vibes where I just feel like this should be part of a play. It is Black History Month, and this is the talent portion of our show. That's what it gives me. And again, we're going to jazz up these educational lessons so you'll be more tapped in. And there's nothing wrong with it. I appreciate it. I just do not want to listen to it or be a repeat listener of it.
You're big on energy.
Yes. I don't listen to music for that. I listen to music as a release to, inspire and to float.
Absolutely.
Trent, what about you? And shout out to Ben Frank in the chat. He came through and said blessings. His favorite, Section 80. Not a bad choice at all. What about you?
I like. Well, wait.
So are you okay? So Andy just said he kind of learned me a little bit through music, right?
Yeah.
What is your musical vibe? Do you are you gonna put on is there one day where you're like, you know what? I need some freedom fighter music. We're gonna rock out to that.
Yeah.
All day.
Some days I'm feeling a little
rebellious.
Very.
And you need that.
And rogue. Very much so.
See, my rebellious to rogue, I might turn on anti Rihanna. I don't know.
I'm going
or
all
some
the way
80s
back.
metal band. I don't know.
I'm going
Nirvana.
I'm going Ice Cube,
Guns N' Roses.
Something far back. Ice
Old Cube.
Yeah.
Old Rakim, maybe.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about for example, J. Cole. J. Cole is a rapper that I appreciate. I know he has bars. But I remember a few years back he performed, I can't remember which All-Star it was, but he performed at All-Star, the show, at halftime. And I thought it was a terrible choice by the NBA. Not because I didn't think, because obviously he was in the age range, he has hits, but I didn't think the vibe and the tone of his music and his show was hype enough to continue the energy, especially from the first half to the second half of an All-Star game, which kind of drags sometimes anyway. So, yeah, I'm going to get you sometimes. Here it comes. Here comes the slings and arrows about my musical opinions. Go ahead, Andy.
You know what? I hear you and I respect it. That was the All-Star game, I believe, in Charlotte.
I think so.
Where what's
hometown,
where he got jumped over by something Smith. But anyways,
yeah.
I'm with you. I think he didn't perform the more up-tempo hits. I could tell he's probably trying to educate folks on that platform. So,
and I felt like that's not it. Again, I'll give you one or half of one, but like you said, I am big on energy. I am big on setting the tone. I don't like things that drag down in the middle. If it needs to be energy, it needs to be energy. And if we are switching up the tone in the middle, now, it has to be a different vibe.
Some of those players in the locker room was rocking a J. Cole.
A lot of them were. No. A lot of them were. I am not a lot of them were. I said, here comes the part where the slings and arrows. I know I'm not on the right side per se of that argument, but it's the side where I'm going to rock out with, and I will stand on that. But much love to J. Cole. I like him.
He's good.
Yeah.
I don't have any CDs though.
I have singles. I don't know if I bought a whole J. Cole album.
Yeah. His first 3 were fire. If you want to listen to a J. Cole album, listen to 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
I feel like that is the one that I listened to.
It's a nice balance.
It's good, but I think he talks a lot about college on that one. Right? Or was that the one before?
I think that's the first one.
The first one, he talks a great deal about college. And I was like, please. I don't need this.
Oh, my God.
I'm not relating to that. I'm just playing. He has some singles. I don't know if I am an album J. Cole person. I debate on if he's someone I would want to see live.
What about the KOD album? That's ATM, Turn It Up.
Oh, yeah. Again, I don't know if I've listened to a complete album. I definitely have heard the singles, might have heard a couple of other album cuts, but I don't know. Like, I am not like, let me go get that new J. Cole. I'm just not. I don't think I might be outside of the range for whatever reason of that. I appreciate it. I listened, like I said, there's some singles definitely. I'm like, yeah. But
you'll go listen to Lil Baby though.
A whole album?
Yes.
A whole album? No.
Interesting.
No, I don't. Again, like with some, and I like Lil Baby, but I don't know that I would want to. Somebody would have to introduce me to it.
Hold on, stop the presses.
Okay.
I just realized, no Kendrick, no J. Cole.
I didn't say no Kendrick. I like Kendrick.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. You said that particular album.
That particular album was not my favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
I like, I'm mainstream, and I am, Pretty Brown Mimi talking about the Roots. No. Come on now. And here's the thing. I appreciate them. I've seen the Roots perform live several times, right? I appreciate what they do. But me, it's not going to be what Jill says, like, oh, I want to go to that show. I'm sorry. I'm more typical in that, even though I didn't go to this one, Drake, I needed to be there. I didn't go, but I needed to be there.
City Girls, you there, huh? Cardi B, you there?
Cardi, I've never seen Cardi perform live. Cardi, I would want to check out.
He's being funny.
Who, me?
Andy.
Oh, Andy.
Nah,
no, here's the thing. Cardi's first album, she came out fire, and her and whoever wrote it helped her. Whatever. We're not going to excuse that. I don't even particularly care per se with her because she spits that stuff like it is her own. Her delivery, every song that Cardi touches goes up. So, and she gives you a show. I don't know if it's because of her ex-dancer background, but Cardi gives you good performance and she gives you good energy. Wu-Tang is too much boy stuff. I've seen them perform live, but I am not going to a Wu-Tang show.
Okay. What hip-hop concert are you going to?
I just told you, Drake, Jay-Z, right? I definitely will go check that out. Let's see, who else?
LL.
I would go see an LL, but I haven't seen LL perform in forever, but I would go see an LL show. I might go check out like a Meek Mill. I'm telling you, like it's going to be, I don't know if there is a mainstream hip hop, but if there were a mainstream hip hop, that is the era that I'm probably in my life.
You're not going to a DJ Quick concert?
I'm absolutely going to a DJ Quick concert. There's one on Sunday.
Yes.
I'm not going to it, but I thought about it.
All right.
DJ Quick Shit, but I feel like that's different because that's not current. When I say that, I mean like a lot of people aren't going to a DJ Quick concert. I would.
That's not true. That is
when
not true. Don't just date it like that.
I'm not.
Okay.
I love Quick. What are you saying? You know I love Quick. But what I am saying is if Quick solo, right, with just an opening act was like, I'm going to perform at Staples Center, Crypto, whatever, or the Forum, is Quick selling that out?
He might. A one night only situation, he might. If all of LA showed up for Quick, he might. Y'all breathing too hard. Y'all gonna put some respect on that man's
Let me tell
name.
you why. I'm not disrespecting Quick. I love Quick.
Andy
I
is.
can spit. Let me tell you, I can spit.
Jill.
I can spit many Quick lyrics, B-sides, deep album cuts. We could get into conversations about the Quick's groove intros and what he said with that. I love Quick, but I'm realistic with my thing.
Yeah.
And so when I say things like that, like Lil Baby had to learn, hey, I am not an arena artist yet. Maybe me paired with somebody else, but me solo, I am not. When we come forward, we will have more on our music topics. And my weirdness, is tonight the night that I kind of lose some credibility?
No, it's not. It's
Hope
Mercury.
not.
It's Mercury retrograde.
It's Mercury retrograde, so you guys will deal. We're going to talk astrology stuff later. Of course, we're going to get into what Michael Jordan had to say about Steph Curry's comments. All of that and more. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Support comes from Getty, presenting The Gospel at Colonus, a theatrical event under the stars that reimagines the story of Oedipus. Blending Greek myth with Black spiritual practice, the show follows the blinded Oedipus as he seeks redemption after a lifetime of tragedy. Co-produced by Court Theater, conceived and adapted by Lee Brewer, with music composed by Bob Telson. Thursdays through Saturdays this September at the Getty Villa Museum. Tickets available now at getty.edu.
Need help with the job hunt? It can be challenging, but don't worry. LA County has your back. With a variety of available support services, you'll get the help you need while finding a job. We're here to help you succeed. Let's get started. Find out if you qualify at recovery.lacounty.gov/programs. That's recovery.lacounty.gov/programs. LA County and you moving forward together.
Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580. Are you worried about your credit score? Well, look, you can rebuild it. There are lots of factors that go into determining your credit score, but one of the most effective ways to improve your score is to consistently pay your bills on time, over time. If you're forgetful about payments like me, try automating your bill payments. That way all your creditors get paid on time and you'll have freed yourself of trying to remember. Whatever your financial goals, U.S. Bank Access Commitment Initiatives can help support you in reaching them. Access your financial goals at usbank.com/access. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Roll Charmin ultra strong when you drop in the beat. It cleans with way less effort on your seat. Yeah, roll it, drop it. Yeah, roll it, drop it. Okay. Charmin flows extra strong from the road. Your butt hella clean while you're sitting on the bowl. Yeah, it's all you need for that bathroom groove. Get you in and out without nothing to prove.
Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome forward. We have been having a music conversation about what I personally like to hear and what goes up for me. You know, if you want to share what's on your current playlist, what you're listening to, we'd like that. 800-920-1580. But in the meantime, we're going to get into a topic that Trent just loves. Kidding. We're going to talk about Michael Jordan.
Come on, what are you talking about? I have on my Russell t-shirt tonight.
Yeah.
I came ready for the sports.
You came ready for the sports conversation in your Honor the Gift. Shout out to Russell Westbrook.
Y'all going to stop playing with me in the sports.
We're going to stop questioning your gangster when it comes to the sports.
I don't appreciate that.
You represent.
I spent a whole 3 years in a very intense training camp around my straight friends to learn about basketball.
To prepare you?
Yes.
Okay.
So, come on.
Okay. Well, Carrie Webb in the chat says, how long is Mercury retrograde?
Carrie.
I feel like it's been retrograding since 1992. What does that even mean?
We're going to tell you,
I'm
Carrie.
so glad you asked, Carrie. We are going to break that down and explain it.
I love Carrie.
Tell you how long it is, what goes on with it, and what to expect from it. That's a little bit later. But in the meantime.
Can we tell her now how long it is?
It starts today.
Yes.
August 23rd. Today is the first day. So don't purchase any new electronics.
Yes. Give breaks for all communication, emails, text
Give
messages. There'll be lots of petty arguments for the next 3 weeks.
And when does it end?
September the 13th.
Okay, so there you go. We'll get more into that a little bit later. But in the meantime, Michael Jordan's texts were working. He texted Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. said at 5:54 a.m. this morning.
Yeah. All old people wake up early.
Do they?
We do. I've been waking up early for the last year and a half.
I've been
like clockwork.
I get up at 5 a.m.
See?
But that's because when I had my website, again, we kind of talked about this last week.
And
I've
been in morning show mode. So, my show comes on at 6 a.m. So I wake up early.
Boom. There you go. See? Well, Jordan was up early, like you said. Maybe he wanted to get to Stephen A. before he got on air. That's what I'm going to think about.
Yep.
And he sent him a text message regarding the comments that came out from Gilbert Arenas' interview with Steph Curry, where Steph said he is the greatest point guard ever. I think, what is he supposed to say? Nah, not me, son. You got to have confidence. You got to be bravado. You have to have bravado.
Yes.
In order to, hoop at the level that Steph does. People always want to cast him as the nice, quiet Christian boy, which he is. But we know that Steph has an edge. He talks. He is running those choppers. He is running that mouthpiece when he's going up and down the court, right? So anyway, I feel like him saying that is just like, yeah, who else? Me and Magic. Of course, me, right? Well, Jordan, he has something to say about it. So we're going to listen to Stephen A. read Jordan's text message.
I have to read you a text that I received this morning at 5:54 a.m. Good morning, sir. Although greatest of anything is always a debate, I beg to differ on greatest point guard of all time with what you said. Magic Johnson is easily the best point guard of all time. Steph Curry is very close, but not in front of Magic. You must define point guard to really have a serious debate. Steph Curry is by far the best shooter of all time. Yes, his movement has created many shots for his teammates. He's a career 43% three-point shooter. But Magic Johnson invented the triple-double. Not true invented, but makes it more noticeable in terms of the impact on the game. It's a point guard stat, to be honest. Magic was the best. We can go on, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you get the point. By the way, Magic has 5 NBA championships.
Wow.
That quote this morning at 5:45 was from Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Wow, how about that?
And he asked me,
Wow.
He asked me to read it on the air. He said, I'm not backing up for it. He said, I'm tired of this argument about Magic Johnson not being the best point guard in the history of the game. He is the best point guard in the history of basketball. That is from Michael Jordan.
Well, boom, there we have it. So, Michael brought up some very good points that when you have the conversation about Steph and anybody as far as the point guard position, is he a true point guard? He's really more of a shooting guard. He's a tweener. How much does he have the ball in his hands really to facilitate and to look to kick out? He can kick out, and that creates space, obviously, on the floor. I know I'm getting too into the weeds for some of you, but I'm just saying, although very talented, although transformative as far as the game of basketball is. As far as the 2010s, this last era, are you Steph or are you LeBron? Who's the best player of the last decade? It's a conversation worth having. We know they've been adversaries, but who's your pick? Who's your pick? But as far as best point guard ever, it's got to be Magic. Magic saved the NBA. There would be no place for Steph if Magic hadn't come in and done what he did. When we come forward, we will have more trending topics and headlines, more with Trent the artist. We're going to get into what is going on with April Jones, Tay Diggs, her son Mega, and Instagram Lives. All of that and more. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
I could care less if you're upset. So you don't change the truth. And your hurt feelings no excuse to keep me in this box. Psychological locks. Repressing true expression. Cementing this repression. Promoting mass deception so that no one can be healed. I don't respect your system. I won't protect your system. When you talk, I don't listen. Oh, let my father's will be done. And just get out. Oh, just get out of all this bondage. Just
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network.